Hey, this is Mad Matt from Budget Boosting. Today we're going to talk about the 1984 through 1987 Buick Regal Grand National Series cars. The Grand National, the T-Type, the T-Type Limited, and the GNX. Okay, we're going to talk about a potential brake problem that happens on these cars, because from the factory they put what was called a Buick Power Master brake system on, which is entirely electrical. And I've already done an upgrade on my Buick. If you look, this is a regular power booster right here. I did a conversion of a regular booster from a 1987 Buick Regal non-turbo version with a master cylinder. So I basically did a conversion of a regular Regal's brake system, the brake master and the brake booster, which uses vacuum for your brakes instead of the factory Power Master. This is the original Power Master that comes on the Buick Grand National turbo cars, including the T-Type, the T-Type Limited, Turbo T, and all that. This is a Power Master system that came on these Buick turbo cars from the factory. This is where the vacuum is like a vacuum canister, and this electric motor constantly maintains a certain pressure in this vessel. Well, what happens is, what's happened to some of us Buick guys is this little motor here or something in the electrical system on these Power Masters will fail. And you try to order one and you find that you cannot find any parts for these anymore. They're gone. You can't find them anywhere. You can see a couple on eBay that are used and you can buy them, and people are asking premium prices because you cannot find these parts anymore. But the worst part about the Power Master is when it fails about 90%. So imagine yourself driving down the highway and all of a sudden you go to hit your brakes and you have nothing. It's not like your regular brake booster where you still have some brakes if you push hard on it. These things, you can push as hard as you got. You can put a couple 100 pounds of pressure on that brake pedal and you will get about maybe 5 or 10% braking, which is nothing. It's kind of like a little bit better than coasting down. That's pretty much the kind of braking you get when these Power Masters fail. So I'm going to show you what I did to my car to bypass the power booster, because mine failed. I was driving on the way to Reno and all of a sudden I get the brake light on the dash and I go to push my brakes and I have nothing. No brakes. So I had to drive all the way from Reno back home with no brakes, so that was pretty scary. I had to make myself enough room so I could coast down. I had to keep cars about 20 car lengths ahead of me and always have a way out in case somebody stops. It was pretty scary. Or the alternative, have a tow truck bring me all the way home, and I'm like, no. Okay, without further ado, I will show you what I did to my Buick to bypass the old Power Master. Right over here. Like I said before, I ordered parts. I ordered the brake booster and the brake master from a 1987 Buick Regal, the regular Regal without the turbo. They have the vacuum brake booster, not the Power Master. And there's two options to run the vacuum. You can either run it with here on this vacuum block, but I wanted faster brake response, so I picked an electric motor from Jegs. These are designed for cars with really large cams or turbochargers that don't make a lot of vacuum. This compensates for it. So this will give you the vacuum that you don't get when you're on boost. So there's a couple ways to do this. For example, I still have mine available in case my motor ever goes out. This system allows you to still have some brakes. You just have to push a bit harder and you can come to a stop. Unlike the power booster, you actually have some brakes if your vacuum fails. So, like for example, if my electric pump was to ever fail, I could just take this vacuum and put it here. And I got enough brakes and enough vacuum to get home until I get another new electric pump. Now these pumps are pretty reliable. They sell them at Jegs or Summit Racing, and they use them for cars that don't have enough vacuum. Whether you got a big cam, a lot of boost, where you're not getting vacuum. This electrical motor, power and a ground, and then a sensor wire to make sure you always have 18 pounds of vacuum at all times. So this to me works just as good as the original Power Master worked when it was working. Basically, you touch your brakes, you have instant vacuum. There's no vacuum building that you have to do and wait on your engine. This little motor ensures that you have vacuum at all times to your brakes. So that's the way I fixed it up. And there's people that sell the whole brake booster kit on eBay as well. You can buy a brake booster and a master cylinder, and they give you a new brake pedal that has a better throw than the original Buick brake pedal for the Grand Nationals because they have a shorter throw. My brake pedal still works good with this, but the kits on eBay, these guys are selling the Power Master, or not the Power Master, the new brake booster with master cylinder, and it even comes with a brake pedal, which is really good, and it's a good fix for the Power Masters because you cannot buy those parts anymore. These are extinct. So hopefully that gives you some ideas for when you finally realize that you have no brakes and your Power Master gives out, because it'll happen just like that. No warning, because they're electric. The Power Master will just quit, and then all of a sudden you have no brakes. You see this little brake light on the dash, and you basically have to rely on coasting down to slow down, which takes a while. Okay, so here's some more ideas, tools for the toolbox. And thanks again for watching Budget Boosting. If you like us on our YouTube page, like our Facebook page, check out our budgetboosting.com website, and remember, check out our Budget Boosting window stickers. Budget Boost your car today. And as always, remember, knowledge is power. It's horsepower. Slide it on. And since the rotor kind of likes to move like this, I always put a lug nut on here to hold this steady while I put the caliper back on, so you don't have to sit there and wrestle with this thing. So I put a lug nut right here just to hold the rotor in place, so it's a lot easier to put the caliper on.